The time is 5 o'clock, and here's the one news at 5. First, the top stories. Obasanjo said his open letter to Buhari not out of malice or bitterness. Police IG directs commissioners to disarm armed state vigilance outfits. Taraba State Governor alerts on planned terror attacks on the state next week. NUT said 13 states still owing tipsy salaries and allowances. All 955 miners trapped in South African gold mine freed. Kenyan TV stations still off air despite court ruling. I am Tobi Joseph, bringing the news in details shortly. Former President Olusegun Obasanjo has explained that his last week's open letter to President Muhammadu Buhari was not written out of bitterness or malice. He said the letter was written due to his deep concern about the situation in the country. Obasanjo, speaking on the issue during the launch of the Coalition for Nigeria movement in Abeokuta, the Ogun State capital, also explained that the group is not a third force as widely believed, but a socio-economic movement to mobilize people for a better Nigeria. The former president, who formally registered as a member of the movement, said the group will focus on nation building since all the platforms used so far have failed to unite Nigeria since independence. Accompanied by the CNN National Coordinator, former Governor Olaudah Soyinka, and former Governor Donald Duke, Obasanjo said the CNN is committed to providing equal opportunity to every Nigerian to be part of nation building by raising the standard of political leadership and governance. Obasanjo called on Nigerians, home and abroad, to be part of the movement and be ready to contribute to the greatness of Nigeria. He spiced up the ceremony with a chorus, asking Nigerians to be part of the proposed new Nigeria. Bye-bye. Others in attendance at the event included former Minister of State for Defense, Mrs. Modupe Adelaja, former state governorship candidate of the National Conscience Party of Benin Larry Banjo, former State House of Assembly member Johnson Lufatoki, and supporters of former State PDP governorship candidate Gwega Nasir Isaka. Lagos State government has created 4 special courts to handle cases of corruption and other economic crimes, as well as sexual offences. The State Chief Judge, Justice Okwemioke, inaugurated the court, said with the establishment, Nigeria has joined the League of countries such as Malaysia and Indonesia, which created special court for economic crimes. The Chief Judge explained that the Special Corruption Court were created in line with the directive of the Chief Justice of the Federation, Justice Walter Moher, to fast-track trial of corruption cases. She said about 500 cases of financial crimes pending before the Lagos High Court have been transferred to the Special Court for speedy trial. The ceremony was witnessed by the acting chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, Ibrahim Magu. Ekiti State government has initiated moves to establish its own version of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC. Governor Adelefauci had already sent a bill to the State House of Assembly to give a legal backing to the proposed anti-graft agency. The bill seeking to create Ekiti Economic Crimes Commission has gone through the second reading in the Assembly. The governor on his Twitter handle said the proposed commission is in line with the principle of true federalism. On Wednesday, a federal high court has ruled that EFCC lacked the powers to investigate the finance of state government or any of its officials. Inspector General of Police Ibrahim Idris has directed state police commissioners to disarm all the militia, vigilance, and other armed security outfits established by the state government. Idris, who gave the directive at his monthly meeting with senior police officers at the force headquarters in Abuja, said only formal security agencies are empowered to carry arms and ammunition. The state governments, according to him, do not have the constitutional powers to set up armed security outfits. He also said police commissioners have no right to approve for anyone to own an AK-47 rifle or a pistol, which, according to him, are prohibited weapons. The police chief expressed concern about some officers whom he accused of conniving with some state governors to arm militia groups under various guises. He also cautioned police commissioners against indiscriminate approval of vigilance groups in their areas of command. According to him, before a vigilance group could be established, it must have the backing of a law enacted by the State House of Assembly and assented to by the state governor. 4 persons died, 44 others injured in a suicide bomb attack at an internally displaced persons camp in Maiduguri. 2 of those who died were the suicide bombers who carried out the attack on Wednesday night. Spokesman of the National Emergency Management Agency NEMA, Alhaji Abdul Karim Ibrahim, said the suicide bombers detonated an improvised explosive device attached to the bodies and died in the explosion. Earlier, another explosion was reported near the camp. 2 weeks ago, 12 persons were killed in a suicide bomb attack near the IDP camp close to Mona Garage in the city. Governor Darius Ishaku of Taraba State has alerted of an imminent attack by suspected terrorists on the state within the next 10 days. The state government, according to the governor, have been notified by letter of the impending attack, and people in the state are now living in fear. The governor spoke on the matter while receiving the national chairman of the PDP, Prince Uche Secondus, at the government house in Jalingo. Ishaku said the security agencies have been alerted of a security threat. The governor also told the visiting PDP national chairman that a strange helicopter loaded with arms and ammunition recently landed at night in a village in the state. But the state police commissioner, David Akiremi, had dismissed the report of any strange helicopter landing with weapons in the state. National Economic Council has set up a team of mediators to interface with cattle breeders to stop killing of farmers by herdsmen across the country. The panel, headed by Governor Dave Umahi of Ebonyi State, will meet with top leaders of the Miyetti Allah Cattle Breeders Association of Nigeria. Other members of the panel established at the meeting presided over by Vice President Yemi Osinbajo at the Presidential Villa Abuja, were Governors Simon Alonga Plateau State, Samuel Otam Benue, Darius Ishaku Taraba, Jibrila Bindo of Adamawa, and Abdulaziz Yari of Zamfara State. Meanwhile, troops have been deployed to Boko in Benue State, where 7 headsmen were killed and set ablaze by more. 13 states are still owing primary and secondary school teachers, according to the Nigerian Union of Teachers (NUT). Osun tops the list of debtor states with 28 months, followed by Nasarawa 26 months and Kogi 25 months. Others are Benue with 12 months, Ekiti 9 months, Bayelsa 7.5 months, Taraba 6 months, Abia 5 months, Kaduna 5 months, Ondo 4 months, Kwara 2 months, Delta 2 months, while Oyo State is owing 1 month. NUT President Andugba Olukoya, who made this known at the 2018 annual conference of the union, said data is still being collected nationwide on the state still owing salaries to teachers. After the collation of the data, he warned that the union will declare strike against the affected state. You're still listening to the One News at 5 on Rock City 101.9 FM. Up next will be your foreign, business, and sport news. Please just take us. All 955 workers from a gold mine in South Africa have been safely brought back to the surface. They have been trapped underground since a power cut struck on Wednesday night. James Wellstead, a spokesman for the operating firm Simbaye Stillwater, confirmed their release, but said there were cases of dehydration and high blood pressure, but nothing serious. The mine has 23 levels, going down to 1,000 meters below the ground surface. More than 80 fatalities were recorded in South African mines in 2017. The 68-year-old son of Cuba's former leader, Fidel Castro, has died in Havana after taking his own life, according to Cuban state media. Fidel Angel Castro Diaz-Balart was found on Thursday morning and said to have suffered from depression. The firstborn son of the late president was nicknamed Fidelito, or Little Fidel, because of the family resemblance. State television said he had been receiving medical treatment as an outpatient in recent months following a hospital stay. At the time of his death, he was a scientific advisor for the Cuban Council of State, and he served as vice president of Cuba's Academy of Sciences. 3 of Kenya's biggest private television stations are still off air, despite a High Court ruling that the government shutdown should be lifted. Transmission of KTN, NTV, and Citizens TV was cut on Tuesday as they tried to broadcast the opposition politician Raila Odinga swearing himself in as president. The government called the ceremony an act of treason. In a video, Mr. Odinga said the shutdown showed the government had gone mad. Kenya's information minister said the decision to allow the stations to broadcast was a security matter and will be made by the Interior Ministry. In business, Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria (IPMAN) said it is implementing two refinery projects in Kogi and Bayelsa State. The two refineries, with a combined capacity to process 200,000 barrels of crude oil daily, will cost over $3 billion. They are to be located at Tobi in Kogi and Abe in Bayelsa State. Finally, in the One News at 5 Sport News. Super Eagles goalkeeper and team captain Ikechukwu Ezewa has been ruled out of the 2018 African Nations Championship final on Sunday in Casablanca. The Enyimba goalkeeper collided with his teammate Steven Eze in the 12th minute and was substituted for Dela Jiboye. Sources inside the team camp have confirmed that Ezewa will be out for 3 weeks, which means he won't be available for the final game. Nigeria will face Morocco in the 2018 Champ final on Sunday in Casablanca. That was the One News at 5. And just before we go, the major stories once again. Obasanjo said his open letter to Buhari is not born out of malice or bitterness. Police IG directed commissioners to disarm armed state vigilance outfits in their domains. Taraba State Governor has put the nation on alert on planned terror attack on his state next week. NUT said 13 states are owing teacher salaries and allowances. All 955 miners trapped in South African gold mine have been freed. We also told you that Kenyan TV stations are still off air despite a court ruling otherwise. For more stories and to listen to us live, please log on to our website www.rockcityfmradio.com/live. Thank you so much for listening. I am Tobi Joseph. Good evening.